Hi, good morning, good afternoon. You're here because you're going to turn this leaf into a wreath. So let's get started. I'm going to zoom in. If you have not done so already, please group these items together. So whatever your leaf is made of, if it's more than one object, mine is a leaf and a line here. I'm going to select both of them by dragging a box over both shapes with the black arrow tool. And I'm going to do Control G, and that will group the items. So now when I grab one thing, it grabs it all. Okay, the next step is rotate. We're going to rotate this guy. I'm going to use my space bar to put this at the bottom here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees to the left, and then we're going to copy it and flip it over here to the right. When using the black arrow tool, you get this little bounding box around it. And when you bring your cursor just outside the upper right of one of the corners, or the upper left of this corner, you get these rotational arrows. Hold Shift and then drag to the left, and it will snap to 45 degrees. Perfectly. Nice. Because this is grouped, I can hold the Alt key, click and drag on the line. It'll copy over. Remember, at some point now I got to hold down the Shift key to keep it straight. So Shift constrains it. Let go of the mouse first, then the keyboard. Now I could rotate this back 90 degrees, but if you have something that's not symmetrical, mine's symmetrical. If yours is like asymmetrical, in order for this whole design to be symmetrical, we need to flip this. So it's almost like when flipping, it's like a coin. You flip it over on the other side and then rotate it. So I'm going to use the R key for this. Click and drag. Oh, R. Whoops. Oh, that's O. The O key will flip. Hold down the Shift key and it will stay at a 45-degree angle. Complete this thing by selecting both items with the selection tool and grouping. Control G. Okay, this is the trickiest part, Ricky. I'm going to do something, and then I'm going to duplicate that something. The keyboard for that something is Control D to duplicate the last thing. But before I do the Control D, I need to actually make the duplication. So I'm going to hold Alt and Shift and drag it up. Now when I let go of the mouse, I'm not going to touch anything else. Notice I haven't moved anything. I just did that one movement of copying and dragging up. And now when I hit Control D, it will duplicate that step. Control D, Control D. So I'm going to zoom out. We'll do this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want about 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to use my space bar to scoot over. Now I will drag this box over all of these to group it. Control G for group. Nice. Look at this laurel leaf stem thing. I will hold Shift and make this a little smaller. Okay, there we go. Whenever you make something smaller, it makes you have to turn the stroke down sometimes. So I'm gonna turn this down to 10 now. Okay. You can always shrink it down later though. So now I need to bend it. We're gonna bend it by arcing it. So use the black arrow, select your wreath, your straight wreath. We're going to go into the Effect menu, choose Warp, and then Arc. You have to check Preview first. Check Preview. By default, it's set to horizontal, and we'll do something weird like this. We want vertical. And I don't know, I got 50%, 60%, whatever you think looks good. You can make kind of a more minor one, subtle. 60% is good. Click OK. It also depends on how big your shape is, but eyeball it. Okay, the last thing we need to fix before we flip it and copy it over here is you have this disparity between the blue outlines and the actual shape. If I were to rotate this right now, it starts stretching it all out. It applies the wrong arc to it. So I'm going to go back a couple steps. We want the outlines and the shape to line up. So when that's selected, go into the Object menu and choose Expand Appearance. That lines it up. I'm now going to take the black arrow Hold down the Alt key. Hold down the Shift key too, so it like snaps into place. And now we need to flip this again. That is the O key. O. Bring your cursor outside the shape and then just twist it around. Hold the Shift key if you want it to snap, which you do. Cool. To finish now, we're going to grab one of my icons. I'm pretty sure I have one of these goats grouped. Nope, not that one. Maybe video game cabinet. Let's do that one. So any of these icons that you've already made, just drop in a copy of one of those icons. So I'm going to hold Alt. Whoops, that was Start. Sorry. I need to zoom out now. And this is going to be almost impossible to select. Wow. So I think if you're probably not like me, you probably don't have quite so many icons. Hold down the Shift key to blow it up. So look, I blew this up, but now my stroke is wrong. So let's turn up the stroke a little bit so it kind of matches my leaves. Awesome. You'll eventually put your whole family crest in here, but this just looks nice. Why leave the center empty? Screenshot this, turn it in, and give your neighbor a high five. There you go. Nice. That was very positive. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this.